We found about a dozen behaviors. I'm not going to go through all of those today. I'm going to pick 3 that I think are most important to the healthcare industry today and what you're trying to work on. The first of those behaviors is this ability to see the whole board, to pick your head up and look around and know what's going on more broadly. How many of you flew in today? A lot of people. What do you dread the most when you drive to the airport? Like, you're driving to the airport and you think, this is going to be the worst part of my day. It's a security line, right? Like, going through TSA, going through security, it's just like such a travesty these days. Did you know there's going to be about 740 million passengers traveling through US airports this year? That's a 97 million passenger increase over last year, about 15%. Here's another stat for you. American Airlines, between January and May of this year, estimates that 70,000 passengers and 40,000 bags either missed their flights or were delayed because of problems in security screening. That's a lot of people and bags. In one day in May, United Airlines had to cancel or delay 37 flights at O'Hare Airport. That's expensive for United, right? All because of delays in security screening. So it's getting a little bit out of hand. Now, whose problem is that? TSA, maybe, right? That's actually kind of a politically loaded question. Maybe you've heard the conspiracy theories about what's going on there. But in fact, it sort of sits in the TSA purview. But you know what? The company that I'm in love with right now because of what they're doing to help with this is Delta Airlines. You may have seen the news recently, but earlier this year, Delta looked around and they picked their head up and they saw the whole board. They saw this disruption that's happening in the airline industry, and it is, folks, it truly is a disruption. It's negatively impacting the customer experience, but it's also costing the airlines a lot of money. But it's TSA's problem to solve, technically. But Delta looked around and they said, how can we contribute to that? We have a core capability. We're pretty good at moving people from point A to point B. And there's this disruption happening to us. How do we start to get a handle on that? How do we meet at that intersection, that edge of disruption that we've been talking about? Their edge of disruption has been right now to improve the customer experience from the minute you walk in the airport until the minute you get out the other side. How do they do that? Back in April, they made about $1 million investment, and they put about 2 months towards creating what they call innovation lanes. These innovation lanes have a handful of really key improvements over the current TSA process. Then they went to TSA in the Atlanta airport, and they actually launched 2 innovation lanes there. And do you know what they're seeing? 30% more passengers moving through those lanes. Can you imagine if there was a 30% improvement in flow in every lane, in every TSA lane at every airport? You might not dread it quite so much as you drive to the airport.